Guys, Ron here. I was on a little bit of a vacation, so I'm back. I'm going back to my roots, old IT days, when I was working on PVP-8s, LSI-11s, and mini mainframes. But I'm getting into these servers again. And the last video I showed you guys how I added a second CPU to the, I think it was the IBM. But stand by, check this out. It is this HP DL360 Generation 7 next to the bottom with the blue VGA connector. I added 72 gigs of RAM, and I upgraded both CPUs to 5670s, which are 6-core 12 thread. So I got 12 core 24 threads running in there, and I put I grabbed this monitor on the rack slide, 20 bucks, eBay. And I put, in that one I put this little GTX 1030. I got two of them, one to put in the IBM, one to put in the ProLiant. And we're going to start that up, and I'm going to show you what Cinebench is doing. This is just going to be an overall overview of everything. I'll get into more details during the week. But let's start her up and see what we got. So I found this IBM monitor and keyboard, VGA and USB keyboard, on eBay for 20 bucks. It's amazing, and I just had to put a couple of nuts, bolts in it, and I used one of my old power supplies. And it works perfectly. Now with the ProLiant, the keyboard has some functions that don't work, so I use another wireless keyboard and mouse with a dongle for that one. But I got to show you when I go remote, when I remote the whole thing, then whatever keyboard and computer you're using, you have full function. So let's fire up and see what we got. So this is the whole rack right now. That's an old 380 Gen 4. Good for experimenting. I'm playing with that. I got two of them, 99 cents. But I got the two IBMs, which are very good. X3550 Model 2 and Model 3s. Those are great. You can go right to 6-core or 10-core CPUs. No firmware updates or nothing like that. And the Alcatel Smart Big Switch is good. But I'm using the little guy because no fans, no noise. So that works fine. And also I'll explain how you use the, in IBM they call it IMM management system. On ProLiant and HP they call it ILO, Integrated Lights Out. A lot of people show you how to do it, but they leave out all the details for newbies. So I'm going to tell you exactly what you have to do, which cables you have to hook up, how you go find your IP address, how you go to the site and set your stuff up, and how you can do full remote plus a mobile app. You can do full remote where you remote the machine, and you're also remote consoling it. You get a screen within a screen, see your windows, whatever you're running exactly. So let's fire this guy up. Let's see if I can put this down here. This is going to be fun. Let's fire this guy up. I've got him optimized so when he first starts up he's loud, but once he's running, I got him down as quiet as any PC. So I got a dongle over here for keyboard and mouse, and I got that board in there, that 1030. I tried some heavier cards, and I could physically get them to fit, but I really had trouble running them. So I figure this is best. That's the one thing with these things, it takes a while, first cold boot, takes them quite a while to get up and running. It's got to run the IMM and the UEFI platform and a couple of things. And also, for me being handicapped, technically, lately, because of my accident, I'm still, not using my left arm and shoulder. I'm lifting these machines, which is, getting my hand in position. I have to use my other arm. But once I got it there, this is like therapy. I can lift these things up. They're 40 to 60 pounds. So it's a good workout. Now, can you hear those fans at all? I don't think you can hear them. So what I'm doing is, I've got the big screen over there plugged in HDMI to the 1030 card, but I don't have it active. I have to go, we'll go in settings and tell it to select the PCI device not just onboard graphics. And I got to do that before Windows comes up, so let me go mess with that. I believe on the ProLine it's F9. F9 press, yeah. So we'll get into the setup. And actually, this is very convenient. This is a nice setup. I like this rack. Nav point, terrific rack, $158. Shipped in one box. Assembled, nut and bolt assembly, everything included. Wheels and everything nice. Got a UPS back there. And I had to have some help with that because, you know, I'm still messed up. I think there's one fan you hear. It's that fan, the cooling fan over there. But this HP, you can't even hear it. It's as quiet as any PC. It's amazing. Stand by. Oh, there's the setup. Let me put this camera down. Alright, so let's see if I can pull this off. So we got to go to, what are we doing? We're going to System Options. Nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to go down to the bottom to Advanced Options. Advanced Options. Video Options. Now I have Embedded Video Primary. Optional Video Secondary. So that's not what we want. We want Video, Optional Video Primary. Embedded Video Disabled. So we're going to do that. Okay, so we're going to do that. And I think, let's go look at PCI, make sure I didn't shut off any of the channels. Sometimes I do that. Embedded, everything's enabled. Oh no, slot 2 is disabled. I want to enable that at the bottom. See, that's disabled. So we want to enable that. See if you can see everything. Bounce this on the other keyboard. Disable. Tell it to enable. Alright, so we exit and then escape twice and F10 to save it. So it's going to reboot and start all over again. The other thing is, once this boots on the graphics card, this VGA is no longer going to work. I was using, that card has a DVI and HDMI out. So with the HDMI I got video and audio. And what I should do is get an HDMI converter to VGA. I can plug this keyboard and monitor in the back off the board. So I can have two monitors running. One here for regular programming stuff, and then the big screen for video games, whatever we're going to do, display, so on. So she's going through a cycle, and it's going to take some time. It's one thing with servers, you got to have a lot of patience, but they're incredibly powerful. I mean, it's got redundant power supplies, dual CPUs. I got it up to, like I said, hexacore, 6 core, 12 thread times 2, so 12 core, 24 threads. I got 72 gigs of RAM in there. It cost me $70. And it's error correcting, ECC registered memory. Now, registered memory doesn't mean it's registered with somebody. It means there's a register, like a check register on the chip. So it registers errors and states of the memory. That's why it's called registered. And this was a great deal. Like $20 investment. I think shipping was more. I think the guy only charged me like $16 shipping. And it worked. It was great. The screen was a little crooked. I had to change a couple of screws. And it didn't have a power supply, so I went through my collection of junk, which I've got plenty, by the way. And I found one of my old laptop IBM power supplies. Perfect. And it's happened to be, and it's also IBM, so everything matched up nice. And it works beautifully. The color on that is terrific. Very convenient when you're sitting here and working. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's starting to go over there. Let me zoom up a little bit on this. So you see it's running over there on the VG and the HDMI cable. So I've got audio and I've got video, and pretty cool. All right, I'll be right back. There it is. Sorry guys, I got this resting on the arm of the chair. I'm too lazy to go get my tripod happening. Alright, so there's Windows running on the big screen. On servers, you gotta initialize it by using Control-Alt-Delete to let you get into the password. So we'll do that. Okay. And I'm gonna password it. Kind of know what password is on the phone. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to show you, I'm going to go run like something off YouTube so you can see this audio. Everything's working nicely. Yes, server. I'm going to shut server now. See, the fans are ramped up a little bit. It's stressing a little bit more. But once I don't, it's not bad. The server is amazing. Anything you do, there are logs for every event that happens with these machines, no matter what status or state you're in. Alright, let's go to Chrome. Let's go to Google real quick. And we got full stereo and all that good stuff. Let's pick a YouTube, anything. Maybe something of mine even. What did I do? Let's grab another old server video. Okay guys, update on the server situation. And the second power supply, brand new for 6. So you see we got audio and everything working. So check this out. Let's go to Cinebench. I don't expect the graphics score to be too good because it's a 1030, but check it out. It's gonna be interesting. Let's do CPU. See all those cores and threads? Popping 24 at a time. That's me rolling in my swivel chair. So it's a 1326. Not bad, right? Not bad. Those two CPUs, by the way, cost me $40 for a matched pair. I mean, a lot more expensive some of them, but I found the matched pair for $40. Let's see how graphics does. And look over here. If you see the results, is number 1. This whole crew is the top. I'm not expecting a high score. Over 30, I'd be surprised. 30 frames. Because 1032 gig. What's nice is, you know, I got access to you know, audio, video, get everything rolling. Sorry about the framing of this thing. I didn't realize it was that far off. Visually it looks good. You know, the shadows are good, reflections good. .48 frame and 1326 score. That's pretty decent, considering. So that's pretty interesting, guys, huh? It's getting, so if I want to work at the console, I just disable from BIOS. I just disable the PCI, and everything works in the front. Also, what I wanted to mention, so let me go over a couple of things with you. I want to show you how this ILO in integrated lights out work. It's a full remote. In order to make that work, you've got to, there's an ILO connector on the back of, on IBM it's called IMM. It's the memory management module. But it's the memory module on IBM, but for Lion it's called ILO. And there's a connector in the back. It's an Ethernet connector and it says ILO. So you take that cable and you plug it into your Ethernet as well. It needs to be there. So stand by. I'm going to put this back on the small monitor so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm doing a restart so I can get back into the BIOS and tell it to go VGA back over here and just shut down the PCI. Actually, I'm not even going to shut down the slot. I'm just going to tell it to make onboard primary and external device secondary. That should be good enough. We'll see. Alright, I need 2 hands for this. I'll be back. So the place is a bit of a wreck, but I've been busy. Server rack stuff, a little computer I put together for somebody. That's an old Slimline 3700 HP. Fun little machine. Okay, I'll be back. Alright guys, so I got this back into F9 BIOS. Let's go to advanced options, video options. Let's make optional video primary, embedded video secondary. I wonder if I should shut off that PCI slide anyway. I think I might do that. Just because it always seems to work. I don't want to reboot this again. And on PCI slide 2, we'll disable that just to be safe. F10. F10 confirm. Just like a regular BIOS, it'll restart. And 3 days later we'll be back up and running. Hopefully it'll come back up on the small screen. And then I will show you pretty much exactly how to remote this. So we got a little cursor in the upper left, and there she is, so it didn't work. So also the other thing I wanted to mention was when you're using a remote, you can't use, I mean you can, but it's a different process to use a graphics card because it won't send the video through to your remote on a sub screen. So what you've got to do is do a pass through. So now we're going to do on this one, we're going to do F8 to get into the ILO. See, F8 is the integrated lights out 3. If you can see that clearly. Yeah, I think you can. I'm going to try to fix this a little bit. And here's what we'll do. We'll go to network. And there's your IP address, 192.168.0.19. So just remember that. And when you go, now as long as you have an Ethernet cable plugged into your ILO and a regular Ethernet cable plugged into Ethernet, you know, online, you should be able to have no problem with this. And then you go to another computer and you just put in your IP address. 192.168.0.19. So you go here and you find it. So let me cancel this and get out of here. Alright, so what we're going to do now, we'll go to a regular computer and see if we can make this work. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to use this computer, the NWD, and this keyboard and this monitor. And we were just looking at it, I had it at HDMI 1. So now I'm going to switch it to 3, which I have that computer on. Yeah, watching the movies. Little Captain America action. So what we'll do here is we'll get rid of this real quick. And now what's interesting is I think ILO remote console works best with Explorer instead of Google, so we'll use Explorer. So it's already there because you see up here I got the I've got my IP address already in there. Can you see that? Let me try and clarify that a little bit. Yeah, so you look up in the window in the window, it's got I put in 192.168.0.19. I already went here to this. So username is usually administrator, uppercase. Administrator, yeah, and the password is on a tag, usually on the machine. This one I think I have it memorized. Also uppercase. Alright, let's see if I got it right. Look at that first pass. So now what it's doing is, right now it's in overview. So it tells you the system, Perliant 360, DL360G Generation 7, system ROM, system backup date, console, evaluation, IP address. Over here it says system health OK, power server OK on. UID is the, there's a blue LED in the front and the back. So if you're working in the back of the machine, you can power it up from the front, so when you go in the back you know which one in your rack you're working on. And vice versa for the front. So you can go to system information, fans OK, temperature's OK, VRM's OK, power supply's OK, fan redundancy redundant, and power supplies redundant, means 2 of each. There's an error log here, event log. This is amazing. This is going to tell you for years what events have happened. Server reset, server removed, power restored, server reset, onboard clock set, browser login administrator, DNS name not found, and the address, power off signal. So all this stuff, lots of it. Diagnostics, you can do remote diagnostics. Power management, server power. This thing's only drawing 165 watts. This is power. I can power the machine off, on, reset, cold boot. Here's the power meter. So history graph of what's going on with the power. Present power is 128 watts, no power cap. Input voltage 120. Power regulated dynamic. 5 minutes, 20 minutes. Power history, 20-minute history, 101 watts, 24 hour, 5 watts. Maximum power 281, but it's never drawn it. So this is really interesting. It's good stuff. So let's go to remote console. So remote console, I'm using Explorer for that. You have to launch it once. Go down here and open it. So now this is the screen. This is what's going on the machine. That actually is the graphics. Check it out. Window within window. That's the remote console of what's going on with the machine. That's what's going on over here on the small console. Now it's up there. Over there we can use our keyboard and all our functions from that computer to run this computer. We can also power it up. We can pretty much do anything we want to do as if you were running that machine. Now I don't have it set up with the graphics cards. I have to do a pass-through, which is this guy here, which is already installed in there. I just have the PCI slot off, as you saw. So to do a pass-through is another process which I haven't done yet. So let's do Control Alt Delete. Let's cancel that. I shouldn't have to do anything. There it goes. Administrator, password. This has a funny password. Let me see. First letter should be uppercase. There we go. And so now we're in Windows on that machine from our remote. This can be, you could be anywhere in the world, anywhere. Just put in your IP address and do what you got to do. There's server manager. Let's shrink him down. Bring this down a bit. CPU ID. Plus, I'm going to turn off this fan. This is the fan that cools the room, but you can't hear that machine at all. So look, 32 nanometers going back, 5670s, socket 1, 6-core 12 thread, socket 2, 6-core 12 thread, memory, DDR3, 73 gigs of triple channel, 2660 1.7 megahertz speed. All good stuff. So here we are doing this remote. I can go to any computer anywhere in the world with my phone, turn this thing off, turn it on, power it up, power it off, whatever I want to do. So now we can also go back here, go to administration, look at firmware, updates, licensing, user administration. I can set up administrator, all these functions, security, secured socket level certificate, directory encryption, remote console, login security enhancer, management, forward insight manager. There's the SMMP pass-throughs, insight management, and there you go. There should be a, let's see, power management, network, dedicated network port, address, subnet, gateway, mask, all the information you need, prefix length, active and not. It's pretty amazing. And from here I can do pretty much anything I want to do. Here we go. Fans. All the fans okay, 28%, 28%, 28%. Fan block 1, 2, 3, and 4. Temperatures. Now talk about temperatures. It's got 28 temperature probes. Temperature 1, 28 centigrade. Caution is 42. Critical is 46 or 27. All okay. Memories, same thing. Power supply temperature, 38.9 CPU. CPU caution is 73 centigrade, it's running at 34, both of them. System board, 69 critical, running at 41. And system total, 69C, caution is 110. That's just, okay, that's that. Now we go to power. VRM, VRM power for the CPUs, okay, 1 and 2. 165 watts, present reading. Power supply 1, okay. Power supply 2, okay. High efficiency mode balance is how I would set. Firmware 1.6. Processors. Speed 2933, not fast, but with all these threads times 2, yeah, speed doesn't really matter as much. 6 core 12 threads, 64-bit, 192 kilobyte, 3 caches, 3 memory cache. Processor 2, same thing, match set. Alright, memory, that's all the memory. 68, so I got 18 4 gig slots for 72. Yeah, 18 slots, and I see information, all the port stuff, SCSI, NIC, SCSI, dedicated ILO, dedicated network, and drives. Also, you can do, this has RAID 0, RAID 1, RAID 5, RAID 10. You can make RAID whatever you want. I can turn the light on any one of the drives so I can identify which position which one is in, and that's the ID number of the drive. So that's what do we got, guys. So hope this was a good tutorial. It's just an overview today. I'm going to get into more details and open these machines up, and as I expand and modify them, I'll show you. I'll also show you how I got the video boards to fit really perfectly. They look like they're factory, including the I/O panel for it. Alright, good to be back. Alright guys, hope this wasn't too boring. Pretty interesting. Stand by. So I laid this monitor, so I laid this monitor down so I can show you the rest of the setup. But if you want to get into this, if you're not into servers for having a server, it's a tremendous education, and you can make an incredible gaming machine, a regular machine out of them. You know, spending thousands of dollars on these PCs today is crazy. This literally was 99 cents plus shipping. That's an old Gen 4, you don't really want to use it, but I just wanted it for experimental purposes and just for nostalgia. I'll make it work and put it in a rack. And I've got the Netgear Ethernet switch 10100. Then I've got the IBM Model 3 3550, which is a great machine. Dual CPU, but that's got an early CPU without hyper-threading and only 4 core. I'm going to upgrade those CPUs. Then there's another DL4 I got, same price, 99 cents. Couldn't turn it down. I got another IBM, that's a generation, well no, I'm sorry, that's the DL360 Gen 7, which is the one we've been running. Can you hear it? That's it. Then below that is another IBM Model 3, same as the 3550, but it's a next generation. That's the one I'm going to modify and upgrade. It's got DVD, and I got the Alcatel really good switch under there. And that's the setup. And I'll expand it as we go. Like I said, everything here is inexpensive. You can have a ball with this stuff. Experiment, play with it, add memory, modify the CPUs, put in graphics cards, do everything remote control, learn about IT, learn about servers, learn about Ethernet and the internet. Actually, you can set up your own web servers, your own mail server, your own print servers, whatever you want. And you can do it from anywhere in the world. Alright guys, thanks for hanging in. Long time no see. I'll be back. I'll get back on a daily thing. Hope all is well with you guys. See you on the runway. Happy flying. Ciao for now, baby. Keep on serving. Alright, I'm back real quick. I want to show you something. I'm going to power this off from here. So I'm going to take the mouse over to power management. And since I got Windows running, you want to do what's called a press and hold, but on some of them it's called a graceful shutdown. So because what it does is it does basically, basically it shuts down Windows correctly. There you go, it just shut down. I don't know if you heard it. But close Windows, shut everything down. Alright guys, once again, ciao for now. Happy flying. See you on the runway. Ciao, baby.